What about light detection? So light detection is the detection of photons. Photons carry energy, and if they hit the right kind of bond, they can change that bond. And in the case of light, the basis of that reaction is from a molecule that has a carbon ring and then a chain of carbons and a bend at the 11 carbon. It's called 11 cis retinal. And a photon hitting at that spot can cause our retinal to shift the direction of that bond so that it's now straight and it's called all trans retinal, and you need vitamin A in order to make the retinal. So how is this related to light detection? Well, with light detection, again, you're using a G protein coupled receptor. So here's the G protein, and here's the receptor. And inside the retinal, the binding pocket, inside the G protein coupled receptor, the binding pocket holds a retinal. That retinal fits in that binding pocket as long as it has the bend at the 11 cis position. But if a photon comes in and hits that bond, then that can make the retinal straighten out, and then our retinal pops free. It no longer fits in that G protein. The result of that is that the G protein changes shape, the G protein coupled receptor, the receptor, not the G protein, changes shape, and again, a part of that G protein is freed to interact and activate a second messenger pathway. So this is another G protein coupled receptor. The interesting thing is that just like all the others, there is something that fits into a binding pocket. But in this case, it's activated because a photon, light, changes the shape of that molecule and allows it to bound back, allows it to pop out and change the shape of the receptor, the conformation of the receptor. Over time, the retinal molecules spontaneously lose that photon and regain their bend, and at that point they can go back into the receptor and start over. In fact, one of the ways you adapt to really bright light is that very quickly photons hit all of those spots, and in most of your receptors it actually inactivates them, and it takes time, on average about 20 minutes, for this process for the retinal to pop back into the original conformation and fit back in. That's one reason why it takes you about 30 minutes to adapt to complete darkness, for your eyes to adapt. The first stages happen reasonably quickly, but to fully adapt takes about 30 minutes or so.